Hey class, this is Mr. Rutz, and today I'm going to show you some basic formatting that you should all know so you can be successful young students. So, first step is to look around at your Google document. Now, I know that you've made some Google documents before, but today we're going to spend some time looking at some of the features that you may not have talked about. So, up at the top, you'll notice that there's a bunch of these funny looking line things. This is what we'll be using today. Alright? Now, the first thing is alignment. Okay? Now, rather than press space a whole bunch of times to get your text to different parts of the page, you can just use these buttons. So, this is a date. Now, let me fix that. For dates, I like those to be on the right side of my paper. So I click the right align. This will automatically, once I select it, change the placement of that date to all the way on the right side of the paper. This one is center. For this, you might want to put your titles of your papers or anything in the center of the page. You click center, and it's in the center. Now, usually, when we have text in a paper, we want left align. And that will align the text to the left of the page. I can also align it to the right, and you'll see all the words are staying to the right side of the page, but generally we want left. The last option is rarely used, but just so you know, it will distribute or place the words evenly between the left and the right, so it's touching both the left and right side of the page. Let me give you a better example. If I left align, you'll see that it doesn't make it all the way to the right. If I justify, it spaces the words out so it touches the left and the right side. Leave this left, as well as this. Now, the next thing we're learning about is tab. When you need to indent your page, a lot of you will press the space key. This takes a long time. Rather than do that, you can press the tab key, which is on the left side of your keyboard above the caps lock key. It's also to the left of the Q. When I press tab, it spaces it perfectly for a paragraph. Now you can add tabs anywhere, but it's most useful at the beginning of a paragraph. This next paragraph, let's indent. I click before the word that starts the paragraph, and I press tab. That indents. Now the next key that we're learning is enter in a Word document. Now let's read. This is another line that I need to indent. The difference with this paragraph is that I need to turn the next sentence into a new paragraph. This is the new sentence. So if I want to turn this into a new paragraph, rather than press space a bunch, we simply click after the period, press enter, which is to the right side of your keyboard, 2 keys below backspace, and you'll see that it automatically goes to the next line. Since I already had indent up here, it will automatically indent. So the next thing I want to show you is making a list. This will be a list of items I make. I start by putting each item on its own line. Then I select it and choose the numbered list or bulleted list option. This is my list. Let's say I'm cooking something. So ingredients is my title, so I make it center justified, center aligned. These next items are my list. I can go to numbered list or bulleted list. That's up to you. If I want to put my bulleted list closer to the center of the page or further to the right, I can press Tab while they're all selected. If I wanted to add to my list, I would click to the right of something. Let's say I remembered I want to put salt. I would click after rice, press Enter, and it will automatically make another item. My last thing for you today is learning how to change line spacing. So the first thing I want you to do is go to the next paragraph, press Tab to make it a paragraph, and now let's read. Line spacing you use to add blank space between lines on the page. This selection of text will be used to practice changing the line spacing. The following text is filler text that is only here to fill up space. By filling up space, I believe we will be able to practice better because we have something to work with. By having few lines, we will be able to see how much more the gap is made with the different spacing options. Rather than read all that, I guess we could just do our work. Let's select everything. I do this by left-clicking the end and dragging it all the way to the top so everything is highlighted. Now I go all the way up to the ribbon and I find this, line spacing. This is used to change the space between the lines. Single is what we currently have. If I change to 1.15, the space gets larger. Knowing that, what do you think will happen when we get to 1.5? Even larger. How about double? Cool. And as a bonus, I also want to point one more thing out about formatting text. If you are making a new paragraph, you only want to have one space between the paragraphs. By that I mean I don't want to see a whole gap. I just want to see the next line being filled with the paragraph. So these are the key skills I want you to have. Aligning, spacing. Well, hold on. Let me redo this. Aligning to the right, to the middle, and to the left. Using the Tab key to make an indent, using the Enter key to make a new paragraph, making lists by making items with their own lines, and then pressing the numbered or bulleted list, and then also changing line spacing. You need to submit this document, and then you may continue doing your work for Mrs. Guerra.